Hello, everybody. We are back with a brand new episode of our Member Spotlight series. I'm your host, Todd Neslony, the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. And I am thrilled to each week for the next couple of weeks bring you different members to share some of their journey, share some tools, some ideas. Lots of brilliance is going to be happening. And who better to kick it off in 2023 than Liliana Luna? Thank you so much for being here. Kind of introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are.
Thank you so much, Todd. I love your energy. It's
Thank
cold, it's raining outside, but we're gonna have fun in here tonight. Yes, my name is Liliana Luna, and I'm a second year principal in East Texas, Region 8, and this is my 19th year in education. And one of the most unique things about my career is that I am a principal in the district that I graduated from.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's always a really neat fun fact about my career. But I am married with my husband 22 years. We have two boys, a 14-year-old freshman at the high school that I graduated from, and then I've got an 8-year-old second grader that's with me here on my campus. So just super blessed to be a part of this organization, an educator, and super happy to be here and have the opportunity to visit with everybody.
Well, hey, I am thrilled that you decided to come on tonight and that you're surviving this crazy weather with the rest of us across the state. But, when we have these member spotlights, before we dive into you giving some brilliant ideas to our listeners, I want them to learn a little bit more about you. And so, obviously, you moved up the ranks in education to get where you are today. But when you were in the classroom, when was that moment that you decided that maybe stepping into that assistant principalship or that principalship might be in your path? And how did you kind of make that decision?
So, Todd, it's funny because in order to explain kind of how I got here, I got to tell you how I go way back a little bit about my family. I'm the oldest of four, and I am the oldest of two immigrants who had a dream, who came to the United States hoping for a brighter future for their future family. So I always tell people I became a U.S. citizen at 18. I started the process, but my journey goes way back to, my parents and their desire to give us a better life. So having that immigrant mentality, knowing that I'm in a country that has so much possibilities, and the value and the encouragement of my parents to get an education was always important. So I knew that as the oldest, I wanted to go to school. I wanted to go to college. I served at my church, and that's kind of where teaching began.
Yeah.
And I was teaching and here in this district, and they had an opportunity where they wanted to help teachers get their master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it because I don't know. I might decide that I want options and to do something different. So they presented that opportunity to get a master's degree, and I pursued a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. And then they opened up an engineering school. And I thought, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What if I go and teach? I've never seen anything like it. And our district opened up Martha and Josh Morris Elementary School, which they focus on advanced math and then engineering. And so I was there, and then there was a little bit of a shortage of administrators. So our district decided that they were going to offer to pay for a kind of a grow your own program. Yeah. And opened up for you to receive a master's in administration, which is very, very rare. And luckily I got accepted, and that was another opportunity that said, hey, this is another opportunity to grow. I've always been someone that wants options. I don't ever want to feel stuck or that this is my limitation. I never set out to be an administrator. I knew that I have been led to education because it's more of a calling, a mission. I felt like seeing my parents struggle with the language growing up, I wanted to be able to relate to parents who needed that person to speak the language to them, that they felt comfortable, that they felt welcome. And so I knew that I was supposed to be in education. But once I got into that admin program and got my administration degree, then I realized, okay, it might be time to think about that and just kind of explore that. And I've had phenomenal mentors in my life that have encouraged me. And I'm very lucky and blessed to say that I have two master's degrees that were fully paid for by my district. Um,
That's awesome.
how amazing is that? So
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things that I'm so thankful to be employed in a district that really truly believes in growing their people and has given me so many opportunities to serve for TEPSA, to be kind of a voice for TEPSA within our district. So that's kind of how I became an administrator. Really, it was never a goal that I said that's what I want to be, but I truly believe that you'll end up where you're supposed to
Yep.
be, and just opportunities presented themselves. I went for it, and here I am. I was an assistant principal for 10 years, uh, and then, like I said, this is year two. But the campus that I'm at is a bilingual campus,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always felt like I'm supposed to be at a bilingual campus where I can be that bridge between the English and the Spanish speaking community. And so I'm in education for more than just a job,
Yeah.
a salary. It's more of a mission, and I'm just thankful to be here.
Well, there's two things I love about your story.
Uh-huh.
One is I love where you shared, you're always exactly where you're meant to be along the way. But also, I love that you took those chances, that opportunities that were given to you. Sometimes we can find ourselves not sure if that's the right step for us or not sure if we should do that. And you took advantage of those opportunities, and look at all the great things that have come from that. So
Mhm.
that's so many good takeaways right there in that story. So I appreciate you sharing that. So, in these member spotlights, I want to give people like a real big view of you and what you bring to the table. So, one of the things I want to know is obviously we live in a world overrun with tech now. We've all got our phones, our iPads, our devices, our computers, our laptops, whatever. And as principals and assistant principals and any type of school leader, we're always trying to find apps that we love, whether it's in our personal lives that help us make it through or in our professional lives. So tell us about a tech tool that is a favorite of yours, whether personal or professional.
So one of the ones that I've been exploring this year that I think is very user friendly, and I've used it to plan different events at our school or just to set reminders, is Canva. And that's something that our district has provided because they got hold of the easy way to do any kind of advertisement or put out a, you know, get the word out. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of following on our school page. So a lot of the little clip arts that we use to communicate different events is via Canva.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that just for if you wanted to make a little meme or if you wanted to communicate about an event, Canva is super easy. And they have a free educators license piece that you can take advantage of.
You gave away all my talking points with Canva because I am a huge Canva fan. It was
Uh-huh.
one of those that I was like, I don't really know how to do all this graphic design. And then I realized, oh, with Canva, you don't have to know how to do any of it. But
Mhm.
you did say something great in there that I hope people hear is that don't pay for Canva if you're an educator.
Yep.
Just Google the words Canva for education and sign up with your school email and you get all the pro stuff for free. So
Yep.
I love hearing that there's other school leaders using
Yep.
it too, because all my stuff that I made was made
Uh-huh.
in Canva because it was just so easy to do.
And I have to say, I have to, if my assistant principal's out there, Jacqueline Smith, she is the Canva guru, and I've learned a lot from her. And she's the one that got me started on it. And then she's a whiz at S'more.
Ah, yeah, that's another great one. Yeah.
Weekly, our weekly newsletter is done through
Mhm.
S'more. Miss Smith is the lead on that, and our district uses that as well. And it's another really simple way to make every communication look
Mhm.
really professional and clean,
Mhm.
and drop and drag and
Yep.
super easy. So two of those you must check out.
The easier stuff, the better, people. Don't work harder, work smarter. So great tool there. So,
Mhm.
okay, so we've got the personal side, I've got the tech tool. Now I want to know as an administrator,
Uh-huh.
one of the things you are tasked with is building up the culture on your campus, keeping people happy where they want to be there. So what's something that either you've done or you've heard about or you want to do to build up the culture on your school?
So we've been blessed with a wonderful, positive campus culture here at Nash. And it's the people, it's the relationships, it's the good mornings, it's the checking in, it's knowing the personal side of your staff because we become a family here. We spend more time with the people we work with than with our own families, especially during the school year. And so when they know you genuinely care and you know something about them, is one of the biggest components of creating and um, making that positive campus culture. And number two is that they know they have a voice, that
Mm.
their opinion matters, that we are here to listen to them when decisions are made on the campus. You know, there's some things that are out of our control as administrators, that we are just kind of the vessels, the communication points from whether that be the state, whether that be our district administration. But there are certain decisions that we make campus level that we can take the time to hear. How do you feel about this? What do you think about this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Involving them as much as possible in as many decisions as possible is super important because I feel like they realize that they matter, their opinions matter. And doing all of those things simultaneously really helps sustain that positive culture.
I think you make a great point. It's just people want to know that you care what they have to say. And so
Mhm.
the more you can involve them in those decisions, the better. So I think that's a great piece of advice for leaders. And it's something that it sounds so obvious, but in our list of 1,000 other things, it's great to have those reminders to say, oh, yeah, I need to do that.
Yes.
So as we wrap this conversation up, I would love to know if you were to give one piece of advice to
Mhm.
someone in their first year of being an admin,
Mhm.
and we all know in reality, every year is our first year being an admin because new stuff happens. But so, what would be a piece of advice that you would give?
So my biggest learning experience and being year two is very fresh on my mind is giving yourself grace and knowing that there's gonna be a lot of times that you don't know and that it's okay to ask questions. Don't ever feel like you because you're year one principal you have to know it all. Uh, your staff, your bosses appreciate your vulnerability and your genuineness to say, I don't know, let me find out. Because it's important to be genuine and to say, hey, I don't know, and that's okay, and give yourself lots of grace because
Well,
there's a lot of times that you don't get it right.
and the reality is,
Hmm.
none of us like to work for a boss that acts like they know all the answers when we
Exactly.
know that they really don't. So I love that you talk about the vulnerability and it's okay to say that and the giving yourself grace. All so many good advices, no matter what year you are, what role you are in education. Well, Liliana, it has been so great to talk to you. Are you on social media anywhere if anybody would like to follow you and join your journey?
Yes, absolutely. I'm on Facebook as Liliana Vasquez Luna, and then on Twitter because guys, when I started Twitter, I didn't realize everything Twitter, but I'm learning at LilyLou7580. And so follow me, and I look forward to chatting with some of you in the future. And if you haven't registered for TEPSA Summer Conference, do so. You won't want to miss out. I'm super excited.
Look at you taking the words right out of my mouth. That is a TEPSA member. Now that's why we love to spotlight you, Liliana. And
Thank
Liliana's right. We've got our summer conference coming up in June 7th through 9th at the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock. We hope to see you there. We've got Sean Covey, Jimmy Casas, Carmen Agrediti. I mean, there are some amazing things happening. Head on over to TEPSA.org to check out more information. Go follow Liliana on social media and join us next week for an all new episode of TEPSA Presents in our Member Spotlight series.
you. Yay. Bye.